How we go? How about that? Does that sound good? Hopefully that's all well and good for everyone. Come on, please confirm. Please confirm. Sorry about that. I think it's the microphone settings having a paddy again. It's weird. You kind of have to restart everything in order to get it going. So it looks like this microphone's out of action and we're using the webcam mic. Either way, at least you can hear me. So sorry about that weird start. But hi, Devon and John. Thanks for joining in again. Hopefully this is a bit easier for you in the morning over there in New Zealand. But oh well, we'll go with it. I was just explaining that this is the last of the reboxings for E-Raptor. This is Tainted Grail. And I've got two folded space ones, which I'm still waiting for them to arrive. So they won't be for a while yet. But I know that some of you out there are crying out for, more reviews, more top 10s, the stuff that maybe got you into the channel in the first place. They are coming. There's not a lot to review at the moment because, frankly, there's no decent games being released. But also, Top 100s is in swing, so I'm just about trying to compile that together, so I'll soon be ready to start that. There will be a top 10 coming soon. I'm going to start getting the top 10s back out. There's a board game glossary I'm releasing as of this Wednesday onwards, which is kind of like a 3-part series where I go into board gaming terminology and try to explain it more for new gamers. And of course, I'm also trying out an idea. I was originally going to do a a mover and a shaker thing on the podcast where I talk about games that I've entered or left the collection or have adjusted in rating for me. And I sort of thought, well, not everybody listens to the podcast, but most people will at least watch the video. So what I'm thinking of doing is, in addition to the normal Wednesday video, is to do a very quick, we're talking like 3 minutes to 5 minutes absolute max, but probably something like a 2 to 3 minute video each week to say this particular game has gone up or down in the rating or has changed, gone in and out of the collection, whatever, and cover that in a very short, quick fire video, just something that you can really just get onto YouTube and quickly see. I'm thinking that might be a good piece of video content because a lot of people love the shelf by shelf videos, and I'm thinking I need something else to kind of go along that similar vein. But yes, so on with the show. We have got the Tainted Grail insert here. So the actual putting of this insert into the box is going to be the boring part because it literally is just one giant box. One huge giant box. So yeah, it's not exactly a eventful start. So literally all I'm going to do is go hello and ta-da! There you go. Ooh, camera shift there. But yeah, that's pretty much what the insert part is. The interesting bit, though, is going to be actually putting this, all the components in here in order to get the cards and that good. And you'll notice that there's a lot of felt all over some of these, and that's because, oh, there we go, there it's properly in. Nice idea. Thank you, John, and thank you, Vala, thank you, Allah, Yvonne. So 4 of you in the chat. Cool. Well, hopefully we'll get some more, but yeah, I'm glad you like the idea, so I'll see what it's like, and hopefully it won't take me very long to edit and record a 3-minute video, especially if I don't put too many fancy effects in it. I'll probably have to do a different intro for it, because the intro I've got is cool and I love it, but 15-second intro for a 15-minute video is reasonable, but 15-second intro for a 3-minute video might be cutting it a bit, so I might have to do some really quick intro for those particular ones. But yep, it's all in there. Now, in terms of the assembly itself, this one was a bit more of a pig's ear, but not for the reasons you're probably thinking. If I show you the assembly, then, yep, the microphone's still working with this. That's good. Basically, you can see that there's a lot of felt pieces you have to stick all over this thing. They come in these like yellow peel-off bits, and it's weird to peel them off. And you peel off the felt and you stick them on the various pieces. Now, the instructions tell you where they go, so that's not the problem, although there were 1 or 2 occasions where it's like, oh, okay, where do these go? But that was me being thick. But the thing is, obviously, you've got to do all that, preferably before you start assembling it, and that takes time. Here's me going through, putting a piece of rectangular felt on all sorts of things, trying to get it all done. I mean, by this point, I'm losing the will to live. It's like, it takes a while, because there's a good 3 to 4 sheets of this, and it's, oh boy, I mean, look at me. I'm taking forever to do these felt pieces. But to be honest, these models, I kind of want them to be in good stead. So I don't want the, I certainly want to make certain that it's done right. And hopefully you're not hearing the fan noise on the laptop as I go through this microphone, but you'll let me know in the chat if they are. So yeah, now here's the thing bit, okay? It's nice to say, oh yeah, you can just put the pieces on now, but why am I having so much trouble? Well, that's because the instructions are not 100% clear as to what order you should put these bits on. And as I found out at least 3 or 4 times, if you do not put this together in exactly the right order, you will have to remove pieces off because certain bits won't fit. There are so many bits that interlock with each other, nice and securely, but if you do not do it in the right order, certain bits will not fill in and you end up with a problem, which is why it took me multiple attempts to sort that out. But when you're done, as you can see, you get a pretty good looking insert, and this is the UV printed one, so you get a cool design around the outside of the, the classic artwork that is on this game. So yeah, it does, come on there, what's that? 13 now? 13 people in the chat? Oh, sweet. Get chatting, guys. Come on. This is a conversation with me as well as a reboxing. So with that said, it is finally assembled in there. So the next step is to decide the best order in which to put this in the box. So I'm going to start off with this. This is a separate box that you assemble. And it's just one of those classic trays with a lid, although it's also got the really cool artwork on the side. I mean, I do like the artwork that it uses for these UV print ones. And to be honest, I could have easily requested the normal version, but I just thought I wanted to have a little bit of color, and the artwork is one of the best things in this game. So, of course, I want to make a mention of it. But this is obviously going to be for cubes and everything, so why don't we start off with the easy bit first. And it looks like I'm going to have to rearrange these cubes, because at the moment I've been keeping them all together and even sealed some of them off, so we'll see. But how's everyone doing today anyway? Today I've had a pretty full day actually. I've got up, went to my chiropractor appointment, which is always early on a Saturday. Got that sorted, and then got some birthday cards from my brother and my niece, because I'm going to go visit the family in a week's time up north. My brother's up north, so we're all going up to his place. This will be the first time me, my parents, and my 2 brothers have been in the same location in 3 years. The last time we were in this location, in the same place, was my second brother's wedding. So this is going to be quite an occasion. And hopefully we'll have a good time up there. I mean, playing with kids is not usually my thing, but I will certainly enjoy being with the brothers and the parents. But of course, I'm not just going to do half a week up there, because if I've got to travel 5 hours to the Middlesbrough area, I'm going to at least make a thing of it. So what I'm going to do for the second half of the week is do what I was going to do in April, before COVID happened. Well, before COVID screwed over my holiday plans. I was going to spend a week in the Yorkshire Dales, specifically to walk up the 3 peaks. And, I like hill climbs. I like walking up mountains, hills, whatever, and the bigger the hill, the better. I would rather walk 5 miles up a big steep hill to get to the top than walk 10 miles in a straight line across flat plains. It's just the way I have. And I want to go back to Yorkshire Dales, and I want to walk up those 3 mountains, those 3 hills. And so I hope I can do that in the space of 4 days. Now, I know the challenge has you doing it in 12 hours. I'm not going to do the challenge, because that would be suicide for me. But I will certainly at least try to walk up one each day and get it covered before I then drive 5 hours back to home. It's going to be a bit of a mission, but I'm hoping it will work out, and it should be good fun, not to mention it's a break. I'll try to have some content pre-released, pre-done before, so you won't miss out on the video. And I might even take my laptop with me and stream from the hotel room, because to be honest, once I've finished the walk and I've had my dinner, what else is there to do? I can play some solo games, but that's about it. So what I might do is take the laptop and a webcam with me and just do a very quick live stream and just have a chat, Q&A or something. If that's anybody's things, that will probably be on a weekday evening, so it might suit some of you in Australia and that might be pretty cool. Doing a lot better than the scorcher yesterday. Oh, yeah, I know, and it's scorching today. I mean, I am hot in this room alone, especially in a polo shirt. It's not great. What curry did you end up getting the other night? Yes, the other night I asked the chat what I was going to do in terms of my entertainment and my food. And you could do a vlog of the walk. I'm not sure if I've got the setup for that though. I mean, I suppose I could do it with my mobile phone, but then that's all I do. And then how do I get it onto the stream? I don't know. I mean, my technology is not good enough for it. But as for the other night, I said to people, look at these, the metal coins. Lovely, they look lovely. But I said I was going to either go on the PC and do some games, or I was going to watch more of Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I'm really getting into that series. And I decided to watch Avatar, so I did. I binged another bunch of episodes. I am currently now, as of 20 minutes ago, before I decided to come on the stream, I'm up to episode 11, I think, of book 3, which is the second part of the Fire Nation invasion. Now, I've already watched videos on Avatar, and I've had spoilers, so I already know kind of how it turns out. But it's entertaining to watch nonetheless, and see where things go, and I don't know everything that happens in the show. I just know some of the highlights. But yeah, I'm definitely going to enjoy watching the rest of Avatar. I'll probably do that tonight after this stream, actually. But no curry. As for the curry, I ordered a chicken... Oh, what was it? It's one that's done with coconut and pineapple. What was that called? Chicken Ceylon? Yeah, I think it was a chicken Ceylon. Did my own rice, poppadoms, and a chicken chat as a starter or something. But it was very nice. Now, I'm going to leave these out because they're not going to fit in here with the metal coins. And frankly, when you've got plastic and metal, which ones do you pick? So I'm going to leave those out and put them in spares, and at least I'll still have them. Doesn't need to be streamed. Perhaps you could take some snapshots of the scenery. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll do that on my phone, and then somehow, if I take my cable with me and install the software on the laptop that allows me to get stuff off my mobile phone, then yes, I could put some photos on OBS and show them off, or maybe put them on Google Photos and then just browse through them. That might work. But yeah, all right, I'll do that. I'll see if I can do some stuff at the walk. Maybe do a couple of videos. We'll see. We'll see how it works. I blitzed through Avatar a few weeks ago, thinking of starting Korra. Hey, Chewy, how's it going? I'm not too that fussed about doing Legend of Korra. From what I hear about it, it wasn't as good as Avatar. And I'm not sure I want to see them older with a bunch of new characters. I like these ones enough. So I think I'll probably watch to the end of this Last Airbender and then leave it at that. But there you go. That's a good tray of pieces. So we're going to put that to the side. Do these inserts help get the games to the table quicker? I'm thinking of getting the Eldritch Horror version. Yes and no. I mean, this one hopefully should, because these dividers have got the names written on them. So I know exactly what's in each bit, which is a help. The other one, the normal insert, does not. And if you look at my arrangement in the other insert, it's a little bit kind of like what is everything there? I can't tell what the cards are. And annoyingly, why are these cards here? Because when fully sleeved, I kid you not, the sleeves that come with this game, these do not fit in the normal insert. Kid you not. That's why they're slightly bent and all that though, because you cannot fit them in there. So I've had to take them out. That's how bad, I think the original design was on that. But what wasn't bad were these puppies. Look at these things. I mean, I gave this game, what was it? I gave it an 8 out of 10. And part of my negative was the Menhir maintenance that you have to do in this game is a bit of a grind. It's almost like having a paywall in a mobile game. But, God, do these look good. Look at these things. I mean, honestly. They outdid themselves with these things. I love it when I put these things on the table. I just hate having to maintain them all the time. But let's see if I can get this a bit more central for you guys. So I'm going to take these boards and put them here for the moment. Drink a bit of my AeroPressed coffee. Decent coffee. Coffee Link subscription. Brazilian variety from ethically sourced locations. That's the way I like it. All right, let's put that in the middle. See if we can get it, and then I'll try and balance this in front of me as I do things. But yeah, they do generally get things to the table quicker. I mean, that's the whole... I don't like just getting an insert because it looks nice. I need it to speed up the setup. And with this one, we shall see as I'm loading these in. But there are some inserts which I've got which do a great job of speeding the game up. I mean, there are some games that just cry out for an insert, and as soon as you get it, it works. And something like Eldritch Horror, if you can speed up the setup of that game, which is pretty heavy on the setup, then you'll do well, I think. Now, these, I think I've got to go somehow in here, but although I don't know where exactly they can all go, I guess this one's got to go in there. There's more than I need here in terms of these. I guess it's catering for some additional figures, but there's only so many that I think will fit in here, particularly when we get the rest of the Kickstarter content, but I will just pop those in there for now. Let's see, 2 dice. I think I'll put those in that tray when I'm back there. What's this? You do your own rice just like me, haha. I always feel like restaurant rice is overpriced. But it is, it's nearly £3 for white rice. I've got brown rice. It's healthier and tastes better. I'll take that, thank you. I'll pop a lemon wedge in the pan as it's cooking, give it a bit of lemon, or I'll cook it with some coconut milk. I can do my own rice, far better and healthier than anything the thing does. And it means that the money I don't spend on the rice, before you think I'm doing the person out of a deal, I spend on a starter. So they still get the same money out of me, I just spend it on some proper food. I watched Tower of God anime first season. It is good. I have no idea what that is. I like anime, but I am far from an expert on it. The game looks amazing. I missed out on the Kickstarter by a week. The game is really cool. It's not perfect. I would check out my review on the channel if you want to know the negatives about it, because I think it's important you know what the negatives are. But if they don't bother you, then by all means get the game. The game is still really, really cool. It's one of the most fanatic games out there. The Go 7 insert I built for Gloomhaven helped tremendously. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, playing Gloomhaven without an insert is just suicide. Although, to be honest, I don't play Gloomhaven. But yeah, if you're going to do it, you need an insert. But the problem is you've already spent 150 odd quid on the game. You'd think they'd put an insert in. But no, apparently that's too much to ask for £150. You've got to spend another nearly 100 quid to get an insert yourself. Ain't that good value? Love chat is lagging. This is the love chat, is it? The love chat, if only. Now, maybe it is lagging. I mean, that's down to YouTube, not me. It's showing as really good thing on here. I'm not dropping any frames. That is definitely a YouTube issue. Bought the Tower Rex for Gloomhaven. Yeah. Oh yeah, Tower Rex. I've heard of them. I'm looking at them on Etsy at the moment because they have... I think I'm buying an insert for Wingspan from them that holds European, and it has a wooden dice tower to replace my broken other one. So I'm hoping that will be pretty sweet. But I'm just basically getting the components out of my other box at the moment. That's why there's a bit of a sort of delay. But yeah, Tower Rex has got some interesting stuff. Possibly even an Empires of the Void 2 insert, which I'm looking for at the moment. Preferably a cost-effective one. And yeah, it should be pretty sweet. I'm going to put these on the floor for now and worry about those later. Live, not love. Steady on. This is what happens when you get the husband and wife on here. They've got to like finish each other's sentences. Was it? No argument there, brother. A fatal paper cut. Ah, yes, I've seen you on here before. Love the name. Right, okay, let's see what I can do with these. So, this side is all encounters and story events and other. Whatever other is meant to be. And then this side is the character-specific cards, and then also the grey, blue, green, and brown basic cards. Basically, they are the encounter cards, which I suspect are probably in the box down there. So we'll get onto those maybe a little bit later. So let's see. And then these, I'm not sure what's meant to go in those specifically. I can't imagine there's much in there, apart from maybe putting the dice in there, but then how would I get that out with my fingers? But what could go in there is... Oh no, this could be the small cards. For the items. In fact, that does look pretty likely. So let's see. So we have got lots of items. In fact, we've got even more items. There's a lot of items here, although... No, they're all items. So let's see. In fact, these are all items as well. Oh no, they're secrets. Can't get mixed up. So hopefully these just stash in one of these. There we go. Nicely done. Empires of the Void, I think there is a good insert from Warbox. There is. And I'm debating getting it, but the postage and the cost of the insert is... It's a little high, but I'm so tempted because I do want Empires of the Void 2 to have a quicker setup. It's the one minor niggle I have with the game, and, you know, it'll be perfection once that's done. But the other thing is, there's rumours that Folded Space might be doing an insert for Empires of the Void 2, and if they do, it will be a damn sight cheaper. But... I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't want to wait for that to happen. I might just get that insert now and just deal with it. I mean, you know, because I really would love to get something in Empires of the Void 2. Sharpish. Well, you went on a spending spree. What did you buy? All right, tell us all in the chat what you bought. Was it more games? And if so, it better be good games. Well, actually, no, you already told me about one. Yeah, you told me Yvonne bought Wingspan. And yes... Good choice, no matter what John says. Wingspan was a good choice. All right, I'm trying to put in the upgrade cards. There we go. All right, so small cards are in there fine. Annoyingly, I can't tell what each one is, but chances are you will probably get them all out of the box anyway. And yeah, you haven't spoken about the fan noise on the laptop, so it sounds like you're not bothered by it, so I'll just take your word for it. Now, this looks like it's got to hold the map cards, so I don't want to hold them there too long for spoilers, unless I can find one of the, well, I mean, there's the reference cards. Some pretty decent reference cards in this game. Maybe I can find one of the early locations so that you're not, yeah, something like that. I mean, that's not really spoiling much, but, you know, great artwork, and I love the fact that you put them together and form like a big panoramic picture. That's all good, but let's take all these big cards, including the ones that wouldn't fit in the original box. Stupid design. They're not in order, because I recently finished a campaign of this and have not put the cards back in the normal order, but to be honest, I don't really see the point considering how often I'll get this game out. Alright, cool. Let's have a look. All of these in... I'm feeling a bit pessimistic about this, but okay, come on. Braveheart Tegan. Alright. She was Australian. Yeah, she was Australian, wasn't she? Doctor Who companion. Was there a New Zealand companion, I wonder? Okay, I don't think this is going to fit in there either. So, again, am I going to have the same problem with these ones? It just seems like such an afterthought. Do all inserts allow for sleeves? They should do. If an insert doesn't allow for sleeves, it fails as an insert. But this one, I think's having that problem as well, because I think these will fit, but I'm going to have to compress them in. It's certainly not giving me much in the way of a, shall we say, leeway to do this, but hopefully they'll fit. But I am just a bit paranoid about this. And that'll be a big fail if it doesn't fit, because I don't know where else they will go if they don't fit in there. You know, this is such a basic requirement for an insert that it should fit sleeved cards, and if it doesn't, then I'm sorry, your insert fails and it shouldn't have been designed. Well, that is jam-packed. There is no way these are getting in there. No way at all. I can't see any way that's going to work. I mean, I will try, persevere, but I think this is going to be so tight, it's unbelievable. And I've got to be careful there because I don't want to damage the cards too much. But yeah, I mean, this is bad. This is very bad. Because even if I do get these in, how am I supposed to get them out? Alright, carry on. I think I'm almost there. 1, 2, one more. Now, can I push these down? I can, but I mean, I'm just going to damage the cards trying to get him out there. That is bad. Very bad. I don't know. The thing is, it doesn't work with a basic insert as well, so I just don't know what is the problem with these designers and unable to make an insert that fits the component. How hard can it be to do something with sleeves? You measure these things out and you test these things. You would think they'd be able to cater for sleeves, but it just doesn't. So these are going to have to go on top as well. And that just doesn't make any sense. I honestly am a little bit flabbergasted by that. So let's take out the reference aids. We'll take out the reference aids because they are a few cards that don't necessarily need all the space in there. Okay, cool. And then we'll try and put in as many of the mats. What have we got there? Lord of the Rings, Journeys to Middle-earth, Suburbia Collector's Edition, Wingspan, and you'll all have more coming for my birthday. Oh, happy birthday for then. And, oh, blimey, yeah, you've got some... That's good. Yeah, you've got some good games on the way there, mate. Every single one of those is a decent one. And... lol, they should have made them in here compartments a wee bit smaller. Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit too much room for them. I mean, I'm having to mess around with these location cards. They could have at least done that. So, this is what it seems to be with the location cards. The location cards fit, right? They fit, they're in there fine. But it doesn't allow room for these. And there's sleeves in the box to sleeve these cards. So it's not like you're not meant to sleeve these reference cards. But it seems like these won't fit in that box. Which means I'm going to have to put them on top. Which is annoying. Yeah, that's a negative on there. Right, let's see what I can do with the rest of this then. So, I have got combat cards aplenty. And I'm going to see if I can get these here. So... that looks like just a basic divider, so I'm not entirely sure why that's even in the box, so we'll leave that out for now. Yeah, always make the card boxes bigger than the miniatures, because that miniatures could have been down there. I mean, it easily could have fitted it in better. Right, so let's separate out all the characters. So this is Bjor, so that's all Bjor's stuff. This looks like generic combat stuff, so we'll put that over there. And then we've got more Bjor stuff with his diplomacy cards, so we'll put those there. And then it looks like this is generic diplomacy cards. That's what it seems like. Yep, generic. Well, when I say generic, I mean upgradable diplomacy cards. So, okay, fine. So let's see that. So let's do... I mean, I know that you can do these in alphabetical order, but I'm not going to bother with that nonsense. So let's just get them in. So it looks like you've got to put everything to do with Bjor in one set. So combat and diplomacy in one go. In they go. Cool. Well, at least that's fitting sleeves, and I can use the dividers to mix and match. That's not too bad. I pre-ordered Marvel Villainous. Can't wait till it arrives. I love the artwork for Disney Villainous. I have not played any of the Villainous games. It's on my wish list, though. I would like to be shown either one of them. Probably the Disney one first, because I don't quite know how the Marvel one's really meant to work thematically wise, but we'll see. Okay, I'll leave those generic combats for the moment. So what's this? This is story and special cards. So they are in this side of the box, so I'm going to leave those for now. So in that case, I'm going to recover the stuff from this box that I haven't got out yet. This is all stuff that belongs to the other characters I have not sleeved yet. So let's... I am sweating here. It is hot. Cool. What have we got here then? Whew, I should have brought a towel. Looking at these men here, I'm regretting not sprinting for the Sundrop version of Ether Fields. I didn't either, though. I don't think I did. No, I feel certain. No, I hesitated. I didn't even buy some of the expansion content for Ether Fields because I was being a bit more sensible with it. The Sundrop looks gorgeous. Not going to deny it, but the price increase is just a lot. I mean, I overpaid for this game. I really did overpay for this, and that's what made me not go mad on Ether Fields, you know, not to buy every single thing that they had. So honestly, don't feel too bad that you didn't get that Kickstarter, you know, variation of it, because it really isn't an essential purchase. What sleeve brand do you use? I use, I wonder if I've got their... No, I haven't got an example to show you. They are called Sleeve Kings. I get them from Board Game Extras in my area. Hopefully somewhere near you does it. But Sleeve Kings are my go-to because they're 60% thickness. So they're not as 100% stupidly thick as some of them are. But they're also not cheap and nasty. They feel sturdy. They perfectly protect the cards. Feel fine in the hand. But one of the best things, they're good value. Because they sell their packs in packs of 110. Because they realise that most games don't cater to build you 100 cards. They usually give you 105 or 106. So what they did was basically say, right, well, we'll do our packs in packs of 110. And then it goes like that. So it's like, sweet. I think it's a pretty solid idea, really. But yeah, I just find them good. Like, good for money, good for that. So, right, it looks like I need to sort out these cards to an extent, but hopefully not too much, because I have not played some of these characters. I've played two of them. I played Alailai, or however you pronounce her name, and I've obviously done Bjor as well, but I haven't done Maggot, and I haven't done Arev, or whatever his name is, but there's some good stuff around. Seems like there's some more, yeah, generic stuff, so I guess I need to separate out these a bit more, I guess, before they go in the box. I just forgot something, man. We received in the post Dice Settlers, Teotihuacan, and Expansion. And the large figures do add to the experience, yes. I wasn't as big on Dice Settlers. I like the designer. The designer's a cool bloke, but Dice Settlers just didn't really win me over. But I do like Teotihuacan. That is a good one. That is pretty sweet. And Board and Dice, yeah, they got some good deals and things like that. Now, there's Arab's divider. So can we put that in there for the moment while I try and figure out exactly what cards belong to who around here. So that's the thing, because some of these are the generic cards that go with that specific character. So obviously I need to make certain that they don't get mixed up either. And that's the hard bit, trying to exactly remember, oh yeah, this goes with this character. You can usually tell though by the color border at the top there. You can see that name has got a funky color border around it, and it'll be different for some. That's how you kind of figure out how it's done. But otherwise, you've kind of just got to go with it and hope that you are on the right track, because you could easily wander off. But they are also numbered cards, so you can see the show them up there. You can see there's a number at the bottom of the card, 25 out of 25B. That basically tells you it's the 25 basic cards. You just have to know who they're for in terms, and the letter usually tells you that as well. So it's not a bad system. You can kind of sort of deal with these not too bad, and as I mentioned, that is essentially what I'm doing here. I'm just getting the B's, getting the Y's, getting everything, and then just putting them in the spot where they need to go. So this is clearly Maggot's pile. In it goes. Now I haven't sleeved everything yet, because, you know, I took some of the sleeves off one character I played, and, you know, Bjor's stuff is all sleeved, but because I haven't played with Maggot and Erev yet, I haven't sleeved them. So that's why they're not, but I do have the sleeves. It's a lot of effort to sleeve everything, as you know. So I don't want to be here for 20 hours just sleeving cards, although to be fair, I do have to watch the last 9 episodes of Avatar, so I guess I could make that a thing. Nothing else on the chat, so I shall just carry on. Sweating and drinking coffee, decaffeinated, of course. Swiss water, decaffeinated. Now, Nyama. Don't know who this character is. I think she was an extra in a Kickstarter. I think she's coming in one of the Kickstarter extras. So she is Sir not appearing in the movie just yet. So we'll pop her thing in there for now, and then I will sort her out properly when she arrives. And although, when is that going to happen actually? I'm curious. Now I do need to move these up a little bit though, because even though these aren't sleeved, Bjor is. So I am going to have to allow some room for Bjor to function. And I would have thought this would have been easier to do and a bit quicker, but this is me going in blind, so you have to expect these kind of things. So Bjor, all sleeved, combat, diplomacy. He was the last character I played. There we go. So I'm going to sandwich him in there, then we can sandwich that in there, sandwich that in there, and I can fiddle with these as time allows. I don't like box inserts that have pinch fit molding for minis. It makes the minis very hard to get out. Yeah, well here, not a problem. I mean, I can certainly easily get these out because you've got this little dip in here. And yeah, there is room for them to move around, but the felt is pretty decent felt. It should cushion them enough so that we don't end up with too much of an issue. And I haven't even put all the Bjor cards in here actually. So there's you, 9 out of 25, so yeah, I need to put even more space between some of these cards. In fact, here's an easier way of doing it. Let's just take everything out until Bjor is in there, fully ready. That would be the intelligent thing to do, Luke, wouldn't it? So, there we go. Sleeved, Bjor. Let's get this done there. Will these cards fit with sleeves? Well, that is the question I am answering. Because so far they will at least fit, and everything in this box so far has sleeves. So far they're fitting with sleeves, but there is a lot of, you know, cards and that in general, and I haven't sleeved every single card. But according to E-Raptor, it is meant to fit all cards with sleeves. However, these currently do not fit in here with the sleeves, as I have found out. So whether that remains to be seen is a thing. Right, Erev. There we go, Erev. Is that how you pronounce his name? I'm not sure. I don't really care at this point. Right, okay. And then Nyama will put after you, and I'll arrange you when you arrive in the post. So let's have a look what else we got. So these are generic cards, so we'll put those in other, I suspect, or maybe later on down the pool. These are, oh yeah, the character-specific advancement pools, and you are dying, fine. And then there's some more combat cards here, which belong to the various characters. So I do need to put those in there. Yeah, it shows how long it has been since I took this game out of the box. Once I completed Bjor's campaign, I didn't have much to do with this for a little while. But hopefully I should have just about enough room to put these cards in. If not, I will simply just budge them up slightly. It can't be that hard. Like so. Alright, so sandwich that in nice. Sandwich that in. Sandwich that in. I mean, I must admit, I'm a little skeptical as to whether this will fit with sleeves. Because I haven't even sleeved all these cards, and I'm already getting up to these story events. And as you can see, I'm kind of running out of room. So we shall see how this is going to end up. And that's the wrong divider. I want this divider. Nothing else going on in chat. Okay, I shall press on. So, what have we got here? Revealed locations, that's fine. So these are just generic cards, so I can just put them wherever, and I might even just stick them in the other category over there for now. So here, encounters, all sleeved and done by colour. So pink, purple, all that lot. So the question is, will these fit? Now I've had to organise these a little bit previously because whew, it is hot, hot, hot. But let's see, if I move that up there a bit, you can actually see what I'm doing with some of this sorting out, so it's not such a boring stream. There we go. Blue, blue, your first encounter, blah, 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 blah. Who here in the chat has actually played Tainted Grail? Who has it? Who has played it? What do you think about it? Tell us in the chat. I'd be interested to know your verdict as well. I have not played Massive Darkness 2. A lot of these big campaign games, it's difficult to get to the table, particularly with people I know, but I didn't really get that interested in it when it was being released. I don't know if I would like it or not, or like be that blown away by it, but I would try it, but not played it, I'm afraid. So can't really comment. It looks like another big expensive game with miniatures, and well, that's always a slight hesitant on my part, 'cause I'm always thinking, oh great, more miniatures, more expensive games. Is this going to be a problem? We shall see. Speaking of problems, let's see how this pans out. I mean, whether this is going to be any quicker to set up, I don't know. I mean, it will organise your stuff a bit better, but hang on a minute. Grey basic, green basic and blue basic. What's brown basic? Oh, because this is story stuff. Ah, green basic, blue basic, brown basic. Ah, you idiot, Luke. This is why. Green basic, blue basic, and brown basic is meant to regard to these particular cards by the characters. These encounter cards actually go over here where it's got grey encounters, blue encounters, and such. So, yes, actually, I'm pretty confident that these will fit sleeve-wise, because now these are going over here. But, yeah, that was me being a little bit thick, but let's see how these go. Let's try and speed this up. So grey encounters and blue encounters. In they go. Nice, nice, nice. So the rest of it is random events and story events. That's easily done because we've got specials. I've got the chapters here. So I'll show those. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil specific parts of the game. I would never do that. I believe wholeheartedly in never spoiling anything when it comes to films, unless a certain amount of time has passed, in which case you should already have watched it by now. Now, I haven't sleeved every single one of these cards because I've not seen every single one of these cards. Basically, the way I'm doing this is that as I was going through the game, if I needed the card, I sleeved it there and then. And there was a lot of times when I just simply didn't need the card. You know, there were branching paths in this game, and so it wasn't necessary to have them, shall we say, which I was more than pleased about. You know, this game has a lot of variety, and I can tell already that there's a ton of story in here that I have yet to see, and it's great that it's like that, to be honest. So, all of those in there. Whoop, get them in there. These are all the story-specific events. And we're going to try and get that divider in there to collate that together. So, yeah, you're probably not going to be drawing them out of here quite as easily as I would hope, but you should at least still be able to organize stuff so you know where it is. Because the original insert doesn't have named dividers and that, so you don't know where things are meant to go. So it's not too bad that, you know, it certainly is helping on that front. But I'm going to put some of these rubbish cards over there. Put those in there. Right, so that's that whole right-hand side done. Good, good, good. How's the chat going? I'm this close to buying it on eBay for an inflated price. I haven't played Tainted Grail yet. With a looming recession, not sure it'd be a wise purchase. If you're concerned about your personal finances, then don't buy it. That's what I say. You know, we have so many games at the moment. I have more games in my collection than I can physically get played these days. Even I'd stopped Dead Reckoning. I took off my pledge for that, and it was just not value for money anymore. I mean, I paid just over £100 for Perseverance. That's 2 games with dino miniatures and all sorts of other cool stuff. Dead Reckoning was going to cost me about £150 to get that with postage and get like the 2 expansions, which basically means base set content. I hate it when Kickstarters go, here's some expansion content for you. No, no, no. This is base set content. You're just trying to up the value of the Kickstarter money-wise and try and sell me bits of the game later. It's basically DLC for video games with board games. It's how they trick you. But I basically decided, you know what? Oh, sorry. I nudged the camera there. My fault. I decided it was not worth it, and I figured I can live without it. I've got Mystic Vale. I've got Edge of Darkness. Both of them are fantastic card crafting games. That is good enough for me. So that slots in there. Not getting that for my birthday. What massive darkness. Yeah, well, I would love to have the power to say that everything that I review highly is purchased by other people. Some people have said that, but can't imagine. Now, this isn't entirely accurate because, as I said, these brown, blue, and green basics are meant to be character basic cards, and I've put them with their own character, which technically is still correct, but it means that they're not separated out as they should be. So I will probably do that after the stream is done, rather than bore you with sorting those out. But for those of you who feared, will this fit sleeve cards? Yes. I know these aren't sleeved, but that's it. All of those sleeved will easily take up that space. And they take up that space, and this is fine. The only bit that was a negative is this, which, like I say, it really should have made more attempt to fit. However, I don't think that will be too much of a problem, especially if I just pretty much like wedge them in somewhere or put them somewhere else, I guess. I'll have to see. But first, let's see where these boards are going to go and all the books. Oh yeah, and we'll put that divider in there to keep things going. So it looks like these boards go in here. That seems logical. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and level with this tray. That is good. Still don't know where these are going to go though. I guess they're just going to have to go on top. Again, this is the one negative I have. I mean, to be fair, it was a hard one to put together. You got to do it in a specific order. Takes a very long time. Sort of helps speed up the setup, I would say, purely because of the labeled dividers, which is good. If it didn't have labeled dividers, I wouldn't see the point of this insert at all. But with labels, you could set this up quicker because at least you know, oh, that's that character, that's that. And you could use the dividers to split up the story events so that you know which ones are in current use in that. Do you have Nyama, or whatever her name is? Not yet. I think Nyama is in a, what do you call it? They're doing it in waves. The Kickstarter, and I think she's in the second wave content along with a couple of prequel campaigns to this game. I think she's a character in that, or he's a character, and I'll get it then. So yes, I have bought all in with this, so I will get all that content in the second go. Right, so how's this going to go? So that's going to go in there. Thick spiral bound book. Yeah. And the tutorial, which this has one of the best tutorials in the game, because this basically is a small booklet that you read, and it takes you through effectively like your first exploration, your first combat, your first diplomacy, and does it in a step-by-step play with me tutorial guide. If all campaign games did this, it would be the world would be so much better if it did. You know, it is a brilliant tutorial in there. And I would say essential before you start playing this game, because I'm rules checking on a regular basis. But let's see how the lid does. On it goes. Nice and flush. Not a problem. Oh, lift it up, it's very heavy. That's pretty flush. I'm not holding it shut, it's just supported by my thumbs. And yeah, Tainted Grail. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Alright, let's see. We've already gone past the 45-minute mark, so let's go to an hour and just have a bit of a chat with people. So let's stream some live chat. There we go. Stream some live chat and talk to you guys for a bit. I shall get my coffee out. I must admit, these videos are a bit weird because I'm supposed to be reviewing the insert, but it's also part of chat. Hopefully E-Raptor won't mind, but overall, that insert I'd give about a 7. Out of all the 4 inserts I've done so far, 7 Wonders was a 5 out of 10. I thought that not catering for leaders was just a bad idea. It doesn't cater enough for the expansions it says, and it's misleading where it says all expansions on there, and I actually cannibalized that insert along with the previous insert I had to fit everything into 2 boxes again. So that was a bit of a letdown. The Maracaibo one I gave a 9 out of 10. I think that pretty much does what it needs to do. It didn't take too long to assemble. It's got some cool overlay things you can put on the board with the cubes. It fits everything nicely. It does speed the setup, so I think Maracaibo with the overlays particularly, so you can balance those stupid brown discs, you know, I think is a solid insert. Runestones, I would give probably I'd give an 8 out of 10 for that one. It's good, it does speed the setup a bit, but I didn't think it was overly necessary to have an insert for Runestones. But the overlays that you put on the player boards are nice, so it works, it does the job nicely, and it's not too expensive compared to something like this, which is a lot more expensive. Tainted Grail, I would give a 7. I don't think it's going to dramatically speed your setup compared to the previous insert, but it does organize things a lot better than the previous insert with the labeled dividers. It's a bit annoying that you can't fit the reference cards in their sleeve. I think that was a bit of an oversight, but overall, it's cool, and I'm glad I've got it, although this clearly will not cater for the Wave expansions, and it already doesn't cater for something else, actually, because if I go to my Awakened Realms shelf here... Don't damage this war of mine. I'm looking forward to Frostpunk, by the way, that board game. Alright, here we go. Yeah, even got this. The Monsters of Avalon thing. So there is a bunch of miniatures in here, most of which are to do with the next wave of stuff on Kickstarter, which I've not even seen yet. A few may appear in this game, and they appear for like a few seconds and then go away. It's not the most useful of boxes of miniatures, I must admit. Probably a bit of a waste of money, but they're all Sundrop and they look cool. Okay, let's have a look at the chat then. This war of mine had great intro rules. Yes, it did. Awakened Realms seem to be doing pretty well on this front, actually. I hope they don't stop. You played Legacy of Dragonholt or similar, or I want to explore solo role-playing. I have not played it, but if you want the best indication of whether you'll enjoy it or not, go to the Dice Tower channel and look up their Legacy of Dragonholt. I don't know if they did it live or they just did plays, but either way, they basically play through a ton of it. So you may have to cater for the fact that there's spoilers in there. And I think he does a proper review at some point, but the playthrough is a good indication of whether it's the type of game you will like. Looks cool. It basically looks like a solo RPG that you can do with other people, but there's a lot of reading. So if you're doing this with a group, you're probably going to be reading a lot while the rest of the group aren't doing anything. We've had our tea. What have I had? I think I just nicked what I could out of the fridge for tonight. I didn't really get anything specific. I'm so surprised you can't hear the laptop fan noise. That is cool. It will look good on the table with the artwork and easy to get out of the box with the handles. Yes, you're talking about the Tainted Grail one? Yeah, it probably will be pretty good on that one. The Maracaibo one was real nice. Yeah, I think that was probably the best insert of the 4 I've had this week. And for something like Maracaibo, which has got a lot of moving parts, it's not a flawless insert, but I think it's a pretty decent one. And for not having to build it with glue, it's pretty sweet. And I'm going to move this microphone out of the way, though, because I think the webcam's trying to focus on the mic, which is not even working at the moment. It's OBS being a pain. You have to... With OBS, if you unplug or replug anything in, you've got to close OBS down and relaunch it. And sometimes you forget to double check after you relaunch it that everything's working, and that's why you get the problem with the podcaster mic at the start of the stream. Okay, what have we got then? That's a conversation between you two. I have no idea what 4 Against Darkness Rangers of Shadow Deep is. I'm guessing that's an RPG. Now the volume has gone down. That can't be right. Shouldn't be. Is that better then? That's odd. Okay, that is really odd. It seems that, well, I activated a different set of microphone, and I thought it was coming out of the webcam, but I guess it's not, because the Rode Podcaster is set up as a separate audio function on here, but at the moment I basically activated mic/aux, AUX or whatever, in order to get this working again. So it is going through the mic. All right, okay, cool. I mean, that makes me happy. Not for the fact that the webcam keeps focusing on the wrong stuff, but that does make me happy though, because that means you've not only been hearing the good audio from the mic, not the rubbish webcam audio, but you've also not been hearing a laptop noise because this has got filters on it to stop that kind of noise going through. So I am happy. Me, 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 me. 1, 2, 3. No, I'm not going to break into song. Trust me, you do not want your eardrums blown out from that. Let's see, another 7 minutes, I say, before I wrap this up in an hour. Let's get some more questions in. Quickfire, like A or B. Just literally about anything. It doesn't even have to be about games. It could be movies, could be ice cream flavors, whatever. Let's just get some random questions in there to keep us entertained until the end. How much are those wireless clip-on mics? It varies on cost. I've got a pair. I've got some lapel mic in the other room that I've barely used, but I just can't get good audio quality from them. I don't know what it is. Is there like some setting you must do? I just don't feel like I like the sound that comes out of those lapel mics. You know, all the videos you see me do are done with a shotgun mic, and I prefer using the shotgun mic with the normal videos, and with this is my podcast mic, so my Sunday podcasts are done with this, and my streams are done with this, and I just feel that this works better. Now, it's a little bit cumbersome to have it attached to everything when I'm doing something like this with the reboxing, and it's why I think playthroughs on this are going to have to wait. I don't know if I can do any decent playthroughs with this setup. Maybe I can, but they would have to be small solo games. We're talking small card games, and that's it. So certainly no big board games. You know, you need a big overhead DSLR setup for these things, and I just don't have the space or the budget for that. So that might have to be just something that doesn't happen. But Q&A streams, perfect with this. And streams on the laptop, which I'm going to do Steam plays. I'm going to play through Steam games, like the Smash Up Steam app, the Viticulture Steam app, This War of Mine, perhaps that game, various other Steam board games. And I'll play them on the laptop with this mic, and that'll be pretty cool. Right, let's see. What spheres do you favour in Lord of the Rings LCG? Ooh, nice one. I like them. I use some decks. I tend to go more by tribe than theme. So I have like a Hobbit deck, or I have an Elf deck. So I'm more interested in that. And then the spheres kind of come second out of that. But if I was to say, all right, which spheres do I like to build a deck out of? First, it would be Spirit and Lore, the blue and the green one. I love Spirit's ability to keep threat stupidly low, as well as quest like an absolute beast past scenarios, but they have problems with combat ability. Lore, I love their card drawing ability, their ability to heal. They've got some really cool, funky stuff that they can do as part of Lore, but again, combat is not perfect, but I like their ability to just really do good with cards. The other two spheres are good as well, but if you were to tell me, right, you've got to choose a single sphere and make a deck out of that sphere, I would take Spirit or Lore out of those two, and I'd probably do a Lore Woodsman deck with that new mechanic. That's pretty sweet. And Spirit, I would probably do an Elf deck. Yeah, that would suit. Did you say you backed Hell the Last Saga? If you are you planning to get any add-ons? I have no idea, because I've forgotten all about the fact that we haven't done the pledge manager for that yet, have we? Maybe. Depends on the cost. Maybe if I've got paid by some side clients at that point, or if I just haven't spent much money in that month, then maybe. But I am trying to be a bit more restrictive on what I get on Kickstarter, because, I mean, I must admit, I've bid on stuff recently, but I need to sort of stop telling myself to... No, I need to tell myself to stop buying too many Kickstarters, because there's no room to put them. There's no guarantee I'll play them often. I mean, Tainted Grail is a great game to have, but did I need it in my life? Could I have survived without it? Probably yes. I've played through a couple of campaigns of it. When's the next time I'll get to play through a campaign? Probably when the Wave 2 arrives. It's not like you're paying a lot of money for a game that you're only technically playing through like 3 or 4 times campaign-wise. It's hard to justify the value of some of these games, and I need to be a little bit more careful. Last movie you saw at the cinema, or when were the cinemas even open? That was long ago. When was the last time they were even open? March? And I don't think I've been to the cinema at all this year. I can't think of any February movie. It might be Star Wars. I think it might have been Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, because I wouldn't have watched anything in January, because nothing ever good comes out in January. February this year, I don't think had any movies I was desperate to see. Put some in the chat and jog my memory if you're right, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. And March, I was busy with AirCon and a few other local conventions and stuff, so I wouldn't have been watching many movies then. So yeah, probably Star Wars. That's not the best film to end on. I mean, I was looking forward to Black Widow in May, and sadly that got pushed back. Have you tried the Targi expansion yet? No, but it is in the box. I have Targi in the other room, and I have the expansion in there. I would love to try it. There is a small problem though. I love Targi. Targi's a great game. It's also 2-player only, and 2-player only games are really hard for me to get to the table because I live alone, and if I go to a club night, it's usually with groups. So getting just two of us together is very tricky with people I know, but hopefully I will because it does look cool. It looks like it pretty much revamps the original game, like it's not an expansion, it's more Targi 1.5, but that sounds pretty sweet. Are you going to get Aliens? Another glorious day in the court from GF9. Ah, yes, the Gale Force 9 Aliens game. I don't know if I'll get it. I haven't really researched it into it too much because, again, I don't tend to buy into hype for games. I prefer to wait until they come out and then make my assessment then. But I love Aliens, the theme, so I am definitely up for a decent Aliens game, and Gale Force 9 have proved that, like with Firefly, they can represent the theme very well, but Firefly was a very luck-driven game. It was very long, too long for what it was, and Star Wars Outer Rim, on my shelf back there, has replaced Fireflies. There's no need to have Firefly, if you have the Star Wars Outer Rim, because that game is mechanically better, even though the Firefly theme, I would say, is better than Star Wars. But yeah, I mean, if Gale Force 9 can do a decent Aliens game, I will certainly have a look at it, because if they can pull it off, that'll be one I'll want to play a lot. Even though I have backed Nemesis on Kickstarter, which is kind of pseudo-Alien, to have a proper Aliens game, I want. Hopefully it'll be out in October. Well, that'll be good, because is it just me, or has 2020 sucked for games? I mean, I blame a lot of it on COVID because we're getting a lot of stuff pushed back. And I know that most decent games don't get released until now, around Gen Con and Essen. But is it me, or has the first half of this year sucked for games? I mean, I've reviewed 2 games this year before, because I'm trying to think there might have been some games I reviewed at the start of the year, but not many, because most games don't get released in January, February, and March. So they were dead months. I was doing other video content then. And then the games since COVID got pushed back. And so what have I reviewed? Tang Garden and Project Elite. Tang Garden's a good game. 8 out of 10. Watch my review. I like it. It's on my shelf. But it's not without its flaws, because the graphic design is a pain. Project Elite I reviewed recently. Go watch that review. I gave a 7 out of 10. And that almost became a 6. It was fine, but it was lacking. Timed games are a little bit hit and miss, and the solo and 2-player game in it, I think, is just outright broken. I mean, I've heard reports from people that the 2-player game is doable, but depending how you play, fair enough. But the solo mode is broken. I just don't know how you're supposed to win solo mode in that game, and that's a big downer for me, who was hoping to get a good solo mode out of it. But yeah, and then what else is released this year? A bunch of games no one's ever heard of, some meh games that I'm not too fussed about. Where's the hotness? At this rate, it's literally going to be the worst top 10 of 2020, because there won't be any good games for 2020. But there's some hope on the horizon. But the thing is, the best things I'm looking forward to this year depend on the Kickstarter arriving. Sleeping Gods, that's probably going to be next year at this rate. Aether Fields, will that be this year? I don't know. Super Fantasy Brawl, will that be this year? Maybe. So they could be good contenders. But other than that, I'm thinking more expansions, because I'm obviously looking forward to more detective content. I've got Dig Deeper I've got to go through in that copy right there. Yep, got to go through that at some point. But I'm looking very much forward to the expansions for Rise of the Empires, for Imperial Settlers, and the Empires of the North Barbarians. We haven't got those in the UK yet, and I'm looking forward to those, but that's expansion content. They're for games I already like, so of course I'm going to like them. So where's the good games this year? I am really skeptical that 2020 is going to have any decent games. Which is good for the wallet. Yes, I agree, John. And it's actually good for my video content because it means if I'm not doing reviews, I can do other things. Like right now, I need to really get on with the top 100 for my channel because I'm behind on that. And I wanted to go through the top 100 on BGG at some point live on stream. So that'll be good. You can look forward to a stream for that in the future. 2 streams where I do the top 100 on BGG and go through my comments. And you can comment on... You can shout at me for hating on your favorite games and stuff like that. That should be a good, fun stream. So I hope you guys look forward to that. How many Cool Mini or Not games do you have? Rising Sun. That's it. That's the only one I have. Yeah. I'm not a massive Cool Mini or Not fan, but I like Rising Sun. Gotta go, mate. Thanks for the stream and answers. Take care. Look forward to the next one. Thanks, Valor. I don't know what the next stream will be about. It will either be a Q&A or it will probably... Or it might be a playthrough on here of a Steam app. But what I'm thinking it will probably be is the BGG Top 100. Because I think I really want to get that done. So I will probably make that the next one. And I'll do it in 2 parts. I will do the bottom 50 games in one stream. And then like 2 days later, I will do the top 50 of the BGG Top 100. Where I basically will just scroll through it on the screen. Give my comments. And you can praise me or shout at me for various stuff. This war of mine, let's see, 903, I'll shut this down in a minute, so let's answer this last one. Chewy says, this war of mine looks intriguing. Have you played the video game version? If so, how does it compare to the board game version? I do have the computer game version. I could even do a live play of that like Paul Grogan did if people want. Although, what worries me is that when I watched Paul Grogan play it, there was the guy who does 3-minute board games on there. And, I mean... The guy's fine. I think we butted heads once because I made a comment about I don't see how reviews can work in 3 minutes or like stupidly low amounts of time, and I still think you need a minimum amount of time for a proper review, and naturally he didn't take it too well, which is fair enough. You know, different strokes, different folks. But he was on there giving like expert advice on how to play the game. I am not good at this war of mine. I've barely played it, to be honest, so I'm not exactly going to be that good at it. But I would certainly maybe do a playthrough of it one day if that would satisfy people. I'd have to do it in stages because it is a long game, but you would basically be watching me fail hard at it. That's for something. Great to share breakfast with you. And yeah, very last, have I made my 100 just yet? No, but I have updated a lot of my ratings on BGG. I just got to go through it one more time and check my ratings are good. Compile the list and get it done on Meeple, the ranking engine. And then I will get started on that. I still don't know how I'm going to do the thing though, whether it's going to be a live stream going through 20 at a time or I'll do proper videos going through 25 at a time. I'm not going to do 10 videos at 10 because I will never get it finished and edited. It will just take too long, and I will certainly have to try and speed through it a bit quicker than previous years because I want to put out other content. But yeah, I'm certainly going to work on the top 100 very soon. Anyway, I think I'm going to go watch some more Avatar. So yes, great to share your breakfast and my post-dinner evening. It's a night out there, but thank you guys for joining me for this stream. I don't know when the next one will be, but I will put a notification up on my social media. And of course, if you have subscribed to the channel and click the bell, you will get a notification of when the next stream is. So if you have not, then by all means, please click the bell and subscribe to the channel. It will mean so much to me, and share the video out. And then obviously you will be notified when the next stream is, when I put it up. So yeah, BGG Top 100, I think, for the next 2 streams. So that should be pretty good. Maybe I'll do them next week. I might be able to, actually. If I do them next week before I go on holiday. Or actually, maybe I could do them while I'm on holiday. Yeah, when I'm in the Yorkshire Dales, the evening ones, because they were just going to be chats anyway, and all I've got to do is scroll on the web screen. Oh, that's an idea. Ooh, ideas. I like ideas. Anyway, yes, take care, everybody. Thank you for joining me in the chat. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon. If I don't see you before then, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Isn't that the phrase from The Truman Show? And take care, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. And that is the wrong screen.